Okay, Mr. Rolla, are you able to hear me okay?
Judge, can you hear me?
I can, thank you. All right, and we have Mr. Crisp here, Mr. Gilos joining in. So I think we're just waiting for Mr. Brown at this point. All right, Mr. Gilo, if you can unmute, please.
There we go.
Okay, and Mr. Gilo, you're representing Mr. Grissinger in these files, right?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, were you anticipating that he was going to appear today? I don't see him joined in the Zoom meeting.
I talked to him about it. He knew the time and date.
Okay. I'm going to give Mr. Brown just a couple more minutes here and see if he signs in. So if everybody can just hold on the line for just a few more minutes. Okay, so Mr. Brown's currently in a hearing with Judge Cooper, but that should be ending momentarily, so he should be joining on any minute now. So if everybody can just continue to wait.
I'll wait for Larry with Cooper.
Okay, Mr. Brown is joining in now. Okay, it looks like we have all counsel connected, so we'll go on the record in both these cases. This is People versus Scott Grissinger, case number 236670, and People versus Christopher Crisp, case number 236585. We have Mr. Rolla here on behalf of the people as to both files. We have Mr. Gilo present on behalf of Mr. Grissinger, who's not present. However, he was made aware of this hearing today, and Mr. Gilo indicated that he did communicate with him about it. We have Mr. Crisp present by Zoom video along with his counsel, Mr. Brown. This is set for a hearing today on the people's motion to consolidate these two files for trial. I did have a chance to review the written briefs, and so I'm familiar with that, kind of the factual and legal basis for the request. Mr. Roll, was there anything that you wanted to present by way of argument today?
Thank you, Judge. Perhaps to short circuit this matter, Mr. Crisp has a jury trial currently scheduled in the 46th Circuit Court to start on Monday. Were the court to grant our motion, as Mr. Grissinger then would also be involved in it with Mr. Brown, I would imagine then they would ask to have that trial delayed so that way it could take place with both trials together should the court grant this motion. After having discussions with Ms. Brooker, it would be the people's intention to withdraw our motion so that way Mr. Crisp's trial can proceed. Although quite frankly, I believe the legal basis for our motion was sound, and I actually trust the court probably would have granted it had the court been required to make a ruling on it today.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think you're right. If we were to proceed on the hearing and the court were to grant the motion, I think we would necessarily have to adjourn that trial for Monday. So in light of that, Mr. Rolla, your office is withdrawing the motion and we're going to proceed with Mr. Crisp's case on Monday?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Gilo, do you take any position on that?
No, Judge, I don't have any position whatsoever. I have no problem with the statements by Mr. Rolla relative to you canceling the motion and proceeding to trial on one case.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brown, anything for the record from your side?
Your Honor, I take no position either. I would agree with Mr. Rolla's assessment as well as Mr. Gilo, and I have been in contact with Mr. Crisp. We are prepared to proceed to trial this Monday.
Okay. All right, so the court will consider the motion withdrawn, even though we've done it for the record here and all sides have stipulated. Mr. Rolla, if you can just submit a short order reflecting that so that that's on the record in the files. And then we'll proceed with Mr. Crisp's case. I'll ask all counsel and parties to be present in the courtroom by no later than 8:30 on Monday morning. We'll begin with jury selection and go right into the trial for Mr. Crisp. And then we'll proceed along a separate track with regard to Mr. Grissinger's case. That's all I have for today, and all parties are free to disconnect at this time.
Judge, one thing while we're still on the record.
Sure.
I will be submitting an order. In fact, I might be able to bring it shortly to the court, and that's why I want to inquire about. Are you going to be in the circuit courtroom in Otsego for the 3 o'clock matter in regards to Mr. Edwards? Because I know Judge Hunter was just on there on other matters in our court, in our office.
Yeah, that's why I had to come out here for this hearing at the Alpine Center. Judge Hunter's going to be finishing up in the next hour, and then we'll have Mr. Edwards hearing in person in the circuit courtroom downtown.
Thank you, Judge. Just wanted to make sure I was going to the right place when I was bringing the order. Thank you very much.
I hear you. I'm in the same position. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Judge.